Let's take a quick look at the Set Map Value option in Lightwave Modeler. If we come over to the Map tab, we have Set Map Value, and when we click on it, we'll get different options depending on what vertex map we're working with. So let's go ahead and take a look at what the options are for each vertex map and kind of how they work. I'm going to go ahead and drop down to 4 windows, and with this model, I have vertex maps already created. So S is for selection set, and I have one for feet. So if I go over to W for polygon statistics and move over to points, I can choose feet, and it'll select the points that make up that selection set. If I want to add to that selection set, all I need to do is select some points. I know these aren't feet, but I'll select points that make up the tip of this beard here, and I'll come over to Map, Set Map Value, and I don't have, if you notice, all of these are grayed out because it's kind of an all or nothing thing with the way Set Map Value works for selection sets. I just have to hit OK, and now let me deselect. We'll go full screen, W, feet, and you can see that this is now part of that selection set. These points are now part of that selection set. So when working with selection sets, set map value is an all or nothing thing. You just select the points that you want to add to that selection set, hit OK, and they'll become part of that selection set. For a color vertex map, there's several color vertex maps on this character, but we'll work with face, which are these RGB values that I've saved to the point. And if we want, we can, well, let's first take a look. I'm going to select one point and hit I for info. And for vertex color, we've got RGB alpha, so red, green, blue, alpha, and these are the percentages for this one particular point number 751, and this is the information saved to that point for the vertex color map. Well, if we were to say let's select some points up here, and we go to Set Map Value. Now it's not an all or nothing where we would just click OK. We've got value 1, 2, 3, 4, and so that's RGBA, red, green, blue, alpha. So if we wanted to color this, we could just come over to percent, and I'm just going to randomly type in 60, 60, 90, and then for alpha we'll do 80, and click OK, and we've colored. We've attached an RGBA value to each one of these points. Now, to be honest, I find it much easier, unless you're just wanting to create, select all the points and have it be all one RGB color. I think it's easier to go over to point color, because what you can do is just use the color picker. And then you don't have to know the percentages for the color. So if we wanted it to be blue, and then we could set the alpha, I'll just say to 60, and click OK, and we've got our color there. Okay, so that's to me, that's a quicker way of using setting an RGBA value to a point, would be using point color. But just so you know, in set map value, that's what the value 1, 2, 3, 4, it's not labeled RGBA, so you'll need to know that value 1 is actually red, then green, blue, alpha. Okay, so let's take a look at our next vertex map, a morph map. Okay, so for this, I've got the mouth kind of closed. We got our base, and then the mouth is kind of closed. Okay, now if I wanted to, I could select a point, well, anywhere on the object, but we'll set it on the lip here, and set map value. Now I only have 3 values. Remember, with the color vertex map, I had 4. Well, the 3 values here represent X, Y, Z, because that's what a endomorph or a morph target is saving. It's saving the X, Y, Z values of a particular point, and when you have a cluster of points, it's saving those, and it creates a morph. So just know that you can manually type in X, Y, Z values for individual points for a morph target, and that's using the set map value. So when you're in the morph vertex map, these values represent X, Y, Z. Okay, so we'll move over to texture. This is a UV texture, so we'll come over and let's take a look at our UV map here. Okay, so we've got the robes in our UV map. So it's a vertex map. It's information saved to a point. So set map value. Let's see what set map value. Well, we've got two values. This represents the U and the V, or the horizontal and the vertical. So let's put that into play. Like what if we wanted, say, these points right here on our UV map, and we wanted those all the way over to 1 on U, which is horizontal. So I'll select those points, come to set map value, and for value 1, which is U, we'll do 100%. Okay, and it shoots them over to 1. This is 0 to 1, and let's do the same thing over here. So we'll grab these points, set map value, and I'm going to set the, well, I'll just leave the default 0 because I want to shoot them all the way over to here. Okay, so when you're using a UV map, a textured UV, when you come over to set map value, value 1 is for U, or horizontal, okay, from 0 to 1, and value 2 is vertical, that's V for UV. V is 0 to 1, and that would be value 2. Okay, so let's take a look at the last one. If we come over to W for weight map, we've got I've got a weight map called arms. Let's take a look at that. So we'll come over to weight shade and zoom in. Okay, and so say I want to add these points to the weight map. Well, I can just select them, come over to map, set map value, and let's give them a 50% value. Okay, so the set map value for a weight map is just looking for a scalar value, something from 0 to 100, or you could go negative or over 100, but it's just looking for that value. So let's go ahead and select. I'm going to turn symmetry on to get both sides, and I'm going to select these points, and I'm just going to expand my selection. Okay, because right now, let's take a look. Right now, they're part of this this arm weight map. It's 100%, but I don't want that. I'm going to set the map value to 0. Okay, so it allows me to take an existing weight map, come over to set map value, and give individual points. Let's grab these points here. Set map value. Let's do 100. Okay, so we can set the value for the weight map for these points using set map value. So for weight map value, there's only one value for set map value when you're using weight maps, and that's, again, it's looking for that scalar value. So that's a brief look at set map value. And just remember, when you're using the different vertex maps, you've got the different types right down here. The options in the set map value panel are going to be different depending on what vertex map you're working with.